if you run a search on your name, and this is an easy thing for you to do, you can do this very practically, run a search on your own name and see what pops up, right? So the first place to start is Google, right? So your listeners, they've never heard my name. If they think I'm halfway credible, right? Adam Gower, they might go onto Google and say, who the heck is this guy with this wacky accent and whatever, right? So they'll run a search, Gower, Adam Gower, GowerCrowd, and see what pops up. Well, hopefully, now that I've said that, hopefully my name pops up a bit, right here and there. That's the first step that anybody is going to take when they are wanting to discover you. If you meet somebody, let's say the old-fashioned way, as somebody at the country club, right? It's a kind of cliche. Somebody at the country club introduces you to a prospect, and you have a handshake, and he says, oh, I'm interested in real estate. Well, if he's really interested in investing, he's going to go back to his computer, and he's going to look you up. Well, if you don't have anything online that is meaningful, and I'll get into the details of what I mean in a second, right? But if there is nothing about you online, you don't exist. As simple as that. And in time, you simply won't exist. Online, when you start to solicit investors online and they look you up, if they don't find you, then you've really missed an opportunity. And the way to do that is you need to have a good presence on these channels: LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Now, you don't have to have a presence on all of those. Probably the two dominant ones are going to be LinkedIn and Twitter. When I say presence, what I mean is a profile that is not a resume, right? Unless you're looking for a job, but a profile that explains the benefits that you bring directly to your investors. So you could talk about the kinds of returns that you offer, right? So that's just a real simple high-level example. The profile on Twitter and LinkedIn needs to look the same as the profile on your website. Not the profile, sorry, it needs to be synced with your brand guide, with the way your website looks, so that when somebody lands on LinkedIn or on Twitter or any other social media platform, the colors and the imagery are the same as your website. And importantly, so is your positioning and messaging. And keep in mind that your positioning and messaging, as I've said, always has to keep the investor front and center. In other words, don't talk about you. Talk about what you can do for them and the benefit and why they would want to know more about you, right? And then the way to do that, to create a true presence, is to be active on these social media channels. That means to produce content, just like you're producing, Nick, with a podcast or with written articles, thought leadership stuff that explains in a neutral, non-salesy way exactly what your value proposition is, what your investment philosophy is, and that educates your prospects so that they come to know you, right? You want them to know you, that you want them to like you, and they want to trust you. You want them to trust you enough that they don't think you're a spam artist, right, or a scammer, and end up sending you a check. And by the way, what I just described sounds overwhelming. It's actually not. It's actually really easy, and it's a lot of fun to put together. And is actually if you're a real estate sponsor raising money, you're already doing it. You're just doing it day in, day out, again and again and again in front of prospects, instead of doing it just once more in front of a microphone and putting it online. And then it sits there as an asset working for you, soliciting investors and raising money for you.